Hi there, Jimmy here from the Onside team, bring you another help video. In this help video, we're going to cover off Onside tasks. So we're going to start off in the web portal side of tasks. So jumping into the tasks dashboard here, you'll have to have a Onside Complete subscription to have access to this side of things. Otherwise, you can follow through on the app in your phone. So at an overview, I can see all of the tasks that are here that have either been assigned to me or created by me. I can then jump into the filters and I can then filter down by whatever I need to. So maybe I want to filter only by the properties on the account or whomever they're assigned to, when they're due, all those sorts of things. These filters also relate to the report. So once I've chosen my filters, so I'm going to go Jimmy Inc. I can then download a report, and that report's going to be the information that shows here, which has been filtered by this. But I'm going to jump out of this and I'm going to jump into a new task. So from here, I can go, right, I want someone to fix the fencing. Specifically, I want them to replace the posts, use treated posts from the workshop. So a bit of information about the work that needs to be done, and then I can assign it to anyone that's in my company. So it could be multiple people, could be a single person. Otherwise, you can also leave it unassigned. And I'll show you soon why you would do that. So going down a bit, you can then select which property the task belongs to. So I'll go Jimmy Inc. and I'll say over here. And then I can set a due date for it. So maybe it needs to be done by next week, or maybe you've only got a few days. Otherwise, you can leave it blank. That's completely optional. Again, the color side of things, it could be that you'll color code certain tasks to certain colors. Otherwise, feel free to choose any color that you want. So down here on privacy, we've got 3 levels to it. We've got private, company, and public. So in leaving my task unassigned and having it at company, that basically means anyone that's a member of my company in Onside will be able to see that task, and they will be able to pick it up and do it if need be. Otherwise, if I have assigned it to someone directly, I could just put it as private, and only myself, the property admins and company admins, and the person assigned to it will actually be able to see it. And then lastly, we've got public, and that's basically anyone who checks into the property. If the task is placed down on the map, they'll see that their work needs to be done. A bit further down, you've also got the option of adding images, and then there are follow-up actions as well. So if I'm sending someone out there to replace the posts and they get the work done and they realize, hey, we've actually only got 1 post left in the workshop, we may need to get more, they could jump in here and go add action, buy more posts, and then they could hit save on that and convert it to a task. And they could even assign that task to someone else, or again, leave it for anyone else in the company to pick up. So I'll jump out of there instead of saving, and I'll jump into one of my existing ones. So from here, I can see all the information of another task that's been created. And so once this work has been done, I can click to do, and it will straight away change to done. Or I can change it back again. I can also archive the tasks from here and delete them completely if I want to as well. So if a task has been completed and you no longer want to see it on the dashboard, simply archive it, and the only way you'll see it is if you've chosen the archive status. Now, jumping over to this side of things, we have templates. So jumping into create template, maybe fixing fences is quite a common thing that's going to be done throughout the year. I can then add a checklist to it as well. So it could be, have you checked tension? And then they can be yes or maybe no. And then I can add further questions as well. And keep adding to those. So the good thing about the checklist here is when someone has picked up the task, if they do decide to answer no, they will also be able to put notes. So you won't know exactly why they've answered in that way. And then going down again, I can choose the color and then I can lock down the template so that maybe I don't want them to be able to choose the property or the due date, location, color, or privacy. Privacy especially, maybe I only want these task templates available for my own staff. So I could set it to company, for example. So once I hit save, they'll be able to access those tasks. And I can also jump into my templates here and review them, edit them. So I've got here a toolbox meeting example. So nice and easy. If I go down a bit, I'll put on the people's names and I can just tick them off as they attend. And you'll see that's where the notes are. So maybe I want to put a note as to why Charlotte wasn't at that meeting. So anything that you need to capture like that. And so I've also got pre-start checklists as well. So that is the web portal side of things. Let's jump over to the app side of things. All right, so I'm over on the app side of things and I can see all of my tasks here. So I can scroll down a bit if I want to. I can see the tasks that are overdue. And then again, we've got filters here as well. So I can tap into filter and I can filter by everything that we saw on the web portal side as well. So going through and choosing which ones I want to see. So maybe I only want to see the company ones and then hit apply for that filter to then apply. At any time, I can jump into these tasks and then edit or update them. So maybe I want to add a description to this freshwater care risk. Maybe I want to add someone else to it. And there's a checklist here as well. You'll also notice that in the top right there, there's a share icon. So if I did want to share this task to someone like a contractor, as long as the task privacy has been set to public, then you'd be able to do that as well, and they'll get a web version of it. So they'll be able to see all the information about the task without actually needing the app. However, if they had the app, then they'll be able to update it and advise you that the task has been done. So back on the task dashboard here, from here I could mark a task as done. And you'll see in the bottom right there, there's also an icon with either the person's initials or their picture, depending on the Onside profile. And if I go new, I can then jump in and start creating a task. So because I have tasks set up in the web portal, I can then jump in and choose one of those templates. So I can scroll through and I can change up the description, change the assignees, set the property that it's assigned to. So I'm going to go head office and I'm going to put it down there. And then I can go through and check these things off as I'm going through my checklist. So if I'm going to say, no, my seat's not adjusted correctly, I can then tap into the notes and advise why. Or if you're having a toolbox meeting, have all the points been discussed? And you could say yes. And then another one could be, are there any follow-up actions, or what are the minutes of the meeting? So then you could do that in notes as well. So going through and I could check these. At the very bottom there, I could do follow-up actions. So off the back of that meeting, if there is something that needs to be done, again, I can create it here and then assign it to whomever it needs to be assigned to. Maybe take the picture, and depending on the template privacy level, I can also change it to company, public or private. So that is the Onside task dashboard in the app. Thanks.